Hi everyone, the cross antenna is back. And it's not just because it's right after Easter. It's because I don't trust carbon fiber masts to not arc over when I'm using my high power. So this is Jared, AC7WH, Backyard Ham Radio. And this is my 17-meter band antenna using the same wire and everything else from my last video. You can check that out. In fact, featured in my last two videos. But I did have to trim off the end here just a little bit for two reasons. One, after it had arced over and melted that insulation and the cap and so forth with the carbon fiber antenna mast, the POTA 33H, I decided, you know what, I better trim that off. Yeah, easy decision. But also, when I analyzed the antenna, it was coming up as a little bit longer than I needed anyway, so win-win situation. But a big thank you to Kevin and Baylee for making this cross antenna frame for me. And last time you all would have seen this, it would have been when I had my 160 meter band quarter wave wire on it. Now I've got a quarter wavelength of wire for the 17 meter band. So it's not a complete loop, but I'm using that un there with two counterpoise wires, just like in my last video. But now it goes up here, loops around, and makes basically a 3/4 circle. So there's an empty spot from there to there. We will see how this tunes up. So I'm going to go ahead and give you a shot here from back at a farther distance so you can get a little bit more of a feeling for how this is. All right, I'm going to pause and then pick up with my antenna analyzer. All right, now I'm inside. Let's go ahead and take a look at how this analyzes. This is my first time seeing it as well, so we shall find out. Okay. All right, it definitely has a different pattern, but let's go ahead and see what that is. So the lowest SWR is around 20 megahertz now. So quite a bit higher. And it also isn't dipping down all that much. But that's okay because I've got the antenna tuner here, the Palstar HF Auto. Let's zoom in here. And let's run that again. Okay. If we go down to the 17 meter band, which is more of what I was shooting for, let's see how that does. Very tunable, 7.3 to 1, but not something you would want to ever use your radio with on high power without a tuner. So let's go ahead and zoom back out. And let's go ahead and take a look at the reactance chart here. All right, here goes. So a few different resonance points. So the resonance is at 16163, for example, but also way up higher on multiple bands. Again, resonance, for those who don't know, is when the capacitive reactance and the inductive reactance equal out. So that's around 29 megahertz, just over that, around 20 megahertz, 16 megahertz, and about 5.5 megahertz. So lots of resonance points. So we'll see what we can get out of this. I don't know how efficient it'll be, but it's worth a try. Alrighty everyone, this is Jared, AC7WH Backyard Ham Radio, getting ready to try out the Cross Antenna 73.